Hello, everyone. Welcome back to
the Ginger and Spice podcast.
So we are back in our Zodiac Academy hype.
Yeah.
This is going to be books 5 and 5.5. This is Curse Fates and the Big Ass Party.
Yeah!
We're going to start with book number 5, which is Curse Fates. And then at the end of that, once we're finished discussing it, we'll go into book 5.5, which is Big Ass Party.
Woohoo!
So before we get into it, we're double parked today. Oh, actually, you're not double parked. I'm double parked.
I'm one parked.
One parked. Just one parking space
I'm
today.
just one parked. It's easier.
So I've got the last of my wine from when we were filming content for socials, and I also have a ASMR. Oh no, the ice has melted.
Oh no!
Wait. Oh, just I just spilled it all over
That was
myself.
very good.
Fuck's sake! I've got a a pina colada.
If you like pina coladas
And getting caught in the rain. I actually don't know any more words than that. Do you?
No.
Anyway, what have you got? You've got an espresso martini. Is that right?
Yeah.
Tia's gonna give a rundown of book 5, and then she's gonna give a rundown of book 5.5 when we get to it.
So let's start with what happened in the last book. So obviously we ended with Tory and Darius nearly becoming Elysian mates and deciding not to. That was very irritating. We both didn't like that a lot. At all. Haven't stopped thinking about it since.
Yep.
And then we also had Orion and Darcy ended up bringing back Clara through the shadows, and she ended up stabbing Orion, and then she fucked off.
Yep.
And left Orion for dead.
Literally, yeah.
Not ideal. Not great at all.
And that is literally how we ended the last book.
Yeah, it was. It was awful. Then we go into this book. First stop, we have Orion. Obviously, we think he's going to die. We're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? No, he's all good. So Seth and Darius turn up and they come and save him. And I mean, fair play to Seth. Because
well, it's about fucking time.
I know. Someone did say you will actually like Seth in this. And you know, I thought, you know what, let's start high.
Yeah.
Considering what's been going on. Then we've got Clara, who's going around absolutely fucking shit up. She's turned up at Lionel's house and she just lives there now, really. And she's sleeping with him in front of Xavier and the mum. And that's not ideal.
She calls him daddy as well.
Oh, she does. And she strokes him in his areas in front of everyone. And it's weird.
Yeah.
It makes me really uncomfortable. Yeah. We also then, Tory and Darius decided that they are in love, which only took about 300 pages. So actually, the Elysian mate situation was completely fucking pointless.
Yeah.
And also, Orion went to prison.
We had a whole trial.
We had a trial. We had the whole shebang. And then we had that massive ending, which blew my mind. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to actually move on from this.
Yeah.
Because wherever this is going...
it was insane.
Wherever this is going, I don't want to be a part of it. Is how I felt.
I can imagine everybody who read this book for the first time. Imagine being one of those people that was reading it as it was being released.
Yeah.
And you got to the end of this book. I thought the end of last book where you're like, oh my God, is Orion dead? I thought that was bad.
Yeah.
The end of this book, if I was reading this as it was being released, I would simply not be okay.
I don't know if I could carry. I genuinely don't know if I'd carry on. I mean, like, do you know what? I'm just going to forget all these people exist.
Yeah. Just move on.
Move on with my life.
Pretend it never happened.
Yeah.
Books down the charity shop.
Yep.
Bye.
Done.
Yeah.
Out. Spent £200,000, but
yeah,
I will get rid of those.
I will pay the charity shop to take them.
Yeah, I mean, it was fucking tragic. Actually, the whole book was fucking tragic.
Never in a million years would I have guessed that that's what it was. So Tia was ahead of me reading this, and she was like making noises from over yonder in the office, like, no. And I was like, literally, stop saying things like that. And then I was messaging you, and I was trying to guess like what it was. And I was like, oh my God, has this happened? Has that happened? And you're like, no, you will never in a million years will you get this.
You wouldn't have got that. You would not have guessed that.
No.
At all. And you know what? Like, because there was like so many different things that happened on the lead up. I was hoping that you wouldn't have thought that I was just gasping because it was one of those things. But no, obviously it was Tory being bonded to Lionel.
Yeah, that was insane.
Fucking tragic.
Never in a million years I think that's where that was going to go.
No.
So that was basically the rundown, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was like touching on the main key points that happen in it. But obviously one of the biggest things, well, not even one of the biggest things because they're all big things.
There's so many big
but
things.
Seth going from being my least favourite person on planet Earth, which is quite an achievement considering he's not even fucking real. But he was my least favourite person in existence and non-existence. To now being like, I think you're kind of tolerable. I might like you.
Do you know what it was? So the thing that flipped it round for me was when Darius had a conversation with him and literally just had it out. Darius went in on him. He was like, you think you can go around saying all that stuff about Orion when Orion has like had nothing, like he's had no one.
Yeah.
He's had to come here because his mum forced him to come here, and now he's fallen in love, and now you're giving him shit. I was like, Darius.
Oh,
sir.
Darius really came into his own in this book. I was like, where has this guy been?
Yeah.
If you had been this guy, you would have been Elysian mates.
Yeah, for sure.
Why did it take that whole situation?
Yeah, to figure out who you are.
Insane. He just really pulled it back. So Seth and Darius like really pulled it back, which is actually funny because obviously we lost Orion for a lot of this book. So it actually did, because Orion was probably the favourite character through most of the books up until now.
Oh, for sure.
Orion's departure did allow us to get to know the other characters and for them to develop into more favourite characters of ours, rather than just sort of being kind of background noise. It has allowed for their character development, and Darius really did come into his own, even just like when he was taking her to the prison to see Lance and was like, you know, did the illusion spell on her to look like Max, and I was like, that's a really nice thing to do as well. Like, Darius really stepped up.
I really
liked him in this one.
Yeah, I wonder if it, like, maybe the idea was, we've lost Orion, we need someone else who's gonna take over that book boyfriend spot. And it really was Darius.
Yeah. Oh, there is something else actually that you didn't mention in the rundown that I do think is a key point. Let's talk about it now actually. Is Caleb and Seth.
I was literally just gonna say my only note was Seth likes Caleb.
Yeah, so I definitely didn't see this coming.
I think there was a very slow build up, because obviously we had the chasing scenes that were happening before, and we know that Seth is very loving anyway, and we know that he's always like giving it all of that stuff. And then when their chasing thing happened and there was like so much tension because they'd be on top of each other, and he's like I think maybe 2 books ago it was like, I like to kiss you right now. And then they both laugh it off.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't say anything. They'd laugh it off and leave it. So I think we have sort of been led into thinking that something might happen. But I didn't think it would be that Seth is then like, oh, fuck me, I do like Caleb.
Yeah. And then Caleb was basically saying the same thing. In the same book as well. They both realised at the same book. Because I thought it'd be Seth first.
Yeah.
And then it would take like a book or so for Caleb to then go, oh, God, I think I like my friend.
Yeah.
But he actually had that epiphany in this book as well. I mean, they didn't to each other.
No.
But internally they did. Yeah, Seth his character really went through some stuff in this. So obviously we ended the last book where we hated him, and then we went into this one where he helped save Orion at the start. Like, he was a key part in saving Orion. And then obviously the whole situation with Darius, and he went in on him, and then he really did have a bit of a think to himself as well, didn't he? He was a little bit like, oh God, you know, you're totally right type thing. And he really was a little bit better. I'm still on the fence.
He did say to Darius, he was like, well, I was jealous about the whole situation, and you know, I did kind of like Darcy, so he kind of used the Orion and Darcy situation to get back at them because of his own feelings. And then he went and spoke to Darcy as well, didn't he? Well, the first time he attempted to talk to Darcy, but then he just kind of blew it out of the park and it just all went wrong. And she was like, well, you're actually being a dick, so you're not even being nice to me. And then he did finally have that conversation, and then obviously at the end of the book, when it was all kicking off, she thought that she'd killed Seth, and then he turned out to be alive, and she was like, oh, Seth, you're still alive. And it was all very lovey-dovey.
Apart from that whole situation with Seth, Caleb was a bit of background noise in this, I would say.
Caleb was Max in this.
He was, yeah.
Other than obviously the threesome scene, other than that, I don't really think he did a lot. He caused a lot of carnage when he slept with Tory at the beginning.
Yeah.
When he realised that
there was some aftermath because of that. Yeah, that threesome was delightful.
That was really good.
That was really amazing.
We deserved that.
Yeah, we did deserve that. We deserved that and more.
Yeah.
The whole thing, the way it was planned, the execution of it, just everything. I just loved it, start to finish. I don't know if it's because it was just something that was like really well needed at that point.
Mm.
And we'd waited sort of so long for something like
Yeah.
that, or whether it just really was good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down.
Yeah.
I was so down for it. I was down for all of it.
Apart from those things, Caleb didn't really play much of a part in this. He was kind of like background
Yeah, he
noise
was.
most of the time. He did kind of like turn into a bit of a Max, and then Max became someone. The whole Max and Geraldine thing really
It just really blows my
weirds
mind
me out.
because I can't get over what I think Geraldine should look like.
Yes, I feel exactly the same.
What she sounds like in the graphic audio compared to now what she sounds like some sassy absolute queen now. And now I'm like, well, who are you?
I just find the whole thing just really odd, and I hope it makes a little bit more sense as we go along, but we do get a little bit more backstory for them in Big Ass Party, and also like potentially where it's gonna go. Yeah, I still find them really odd.
Yeah.
Together, individually and together, which actually I guess maybe makes them perfect for each other. They're both like the little oddballs.
Yeah, and he gets really turned on by things that she says, and we know she says a lot. She says so many fish-related things.
Yeah,
like...
Lady Petunia. Oh my good lord.
Oh lordy.
Oh lordy.
I mean, I do love her. I think she's hilarious.
What are some of the things she says? I can't even think. She says so many words.
Oh, blasted baguettes! Take me to the mulberry bush. You are a big sea bass, ain't you, Maxie? Pickle cucumbers at a picnic. That was when the lads decided that they need to try and help Darius to get Tory back. So they were Max was like, I'll go speak to Geraldine and I'll make this happen. So he ends up meeting up with Geraldine and he ends up going down on her. It nearly goes to progress as she's saying all these words and then she's like, oh fuck, actually I'm late to go somewhere. So she just
she's like sucking him off, and then her alarm goes off and she basically just like pops off him. It's just like, I gotta go.
Bye.
Bye, Maxie. And he's like,
what the fuck?
Help.
Yeah. She's just so good.
I really warmed to her. It took a little while, but I did warm to her a bit more.
I think I'm more warm to her now because of
the accent.
The accent is better now.
She's got a bit more personality now.
Yeah. Now that I can hear her accent as she is now, and I'm like, oh, she could be a 1010. I'm kind of like, okay, well, now I see how this works. Even though she says absolute mental things, I can visually picture them together.
Yeah.
Whereas when it was in my head, like some blokey...
That's what I thought before,
like wildebeest.
Yeah.
You know,
I thought she was just like another Mildred.
Another Mildred.
Type thing.
So I'm glad we have a new her.
So we did graphic audio books 1 to 4. Book 5 onwards isn't out on graphic audio yet, and the voices are very, very different. I actually think we'll come into this in our final kind of like wrap up episode when we talk about all the things that we've learned and stuff like that. Voices in the normal audio, for me, I think I prefer them. If those voices had been in the graphic audio, I think I might have preferred that, because the graphic audio, the twins sound exactly the fucking same. Exactly the same, whereas now it's so much easier to tell them apart. But then even like Geraldine's voice, like it's just, some people actually did say this in the comments on Spotify, that they preferred the normal audio over the graphic audio because of the voices, and I do totally get that.
Yeah,
I can see why people felt like that.
Yeah, all the graphic audio was really giving was the background sounds. Like the voices didn't, well, for us obviously they matched who they were meant to be because it was the first time that we was actually listening to it, whereas now that we've got the normal audio, I'm kind of like, I get it, like it's fine.
Like, I think it's one of those things where actually for me the graphic audio didn't enhance it enough. Maybe as the books progress where there's more things going on plot wise, maybe the graphic audio will enhance the books, but the first ones I don't really feel like listening to them on graphic audio enhances them at all. It is nice having like all those kind of background noises and stuff in the graphic audio, but again, I've not really missed them, to be honest.
Okay, should we talk about Darius and Tory? So obviously they decided not to be Elysian mates in the last book. Then we got into this book, and then it took probably about half the book for them to realise
they've made a mistake.
They'd made a massive mistake.
She had made a mistake.
Yeah. which was really irritating because, you know, I mean, we did see that coming. We kind of knew that they did like each other anyway.
Yeah.
It's just really irritating that now there's going to be some sort of different plot line to where this is going to go. Well, I mean, there's going to be a massive fucking plot line because of her and Lionel now. So obviously that's completely fucked. But it could have been really lovely.
Yeah. I mean, when they were writing it, they obviously had plans for where it was going to go.
Yeah.
So there was obviously reasons to it, which we didn't know, obviously, when it happened. So for most of this book, we're a little bit like, well, what was the fucking point in that then? Yeah. What was the point in her refusing the bond? And then you get to the end and you're like,
there we go.
That makes sense.
They're in love.
I see where this is going.
Fucked.
Talking about their relationship, I really liked the scene when they were running and then they got to the top of the mountain. That was one of my favourite scenes. It was sort of a fuck it moment, but it was like their version of it. They got to the top of this mountain and they were all like, all passionate, and then she realized she'd made a mistake, and then they realized they were in love and they wanted to be together, and the rain was pouring and it was all dramatic and everything. It was I love you, you know, type of drama. And then obviously the stars were kind of getting mad the longer that they were together. Then she threw up a bubble to kind of like protect them from the stars and the elements that were trying to force them apart, and then they were being pelted with like just the weather and wind and all that kind of stuff. So they were like on each other, and she basically says to him, fuck fate, and then he says it back to her. And honestly, in those scenes, it was just so passionate and so dramatic. I was just like, yes, fuck fate. They were my favourite 2 words of the whole book. I was just so engrossed in those scenes. Like, I was locked in. Locked the fuck in. And now I'm like rooting for them. And I can totally see why they've done what they've done, because actually now I feel more passionate about their relationship now than I did before they even were supposed to be Elysian mates. I feel like if they just become Elysian mates, I wouldn't have been this passionate about it. So I do kind of get it, because now I'm like really fucking rooting for them.
I do. I'm just really angry. Like, I'm really angry about where this is going to go. Lionel's not going to die for a while. And you can't kill Lionel because Tory is always going to protect him. So you'd have to kill Tory as well. And that's obviously not going to happen. And I don't know how they're going to get around this. And I know it's not going to be in the next book. And I'm just fuming. I am angry. Because have you seen how big they are? Have you seen how many pages we've got to read to try and get to where we need to get to?
I mean, book 8 is fucking enormous, isn't it?
Look at it!
Are we going to do a tandem read for 8 and 8.5?
I don't know if we can.
We're still on the fence about the tandem read, guys. Okay, so I've been like itching to talk about this. So shall we go into the threesome scene between Darius, Caleb, and Tory?
So it was Seth and Max's birthday, and Caleb had come up with this plan where he was going to get Tory and Darius together because he could see there's obviously a thing and he wants to help. And the only other person that could get involved in a threesome technically would be Caleb. So he gets Tory, blindfolds her, and takes her down to like this sort of secluded area, which was in a cave.
Yeah, it was like a basement in a
underground cave situation where people can go and they can see the stars, but the stars can't see them. And he put something around her wrists, which meant that her magic couldn't be used. And then he sort of tied her up behind her back, and then he blindfolded her, and then he brought Darius down like that. It all sort of fantastically came together. But Darius was very like possessive.
You know, like possessive.
He really got involved. Like he was like taking her away from
he really didn't
situations.
He knew that there was a reason that Caleb was there. Like Caleb had to be there, but he also just felt so possessive of her. And he was just like, even when he was like rutting into her and Caleb was behind, he was sort of like trying to pull her closer to him to get away from Caleb. And his internal dialogue was just like so possessive, like the most possessive we've heard him.
There was so much growling. There was a lot of growling going on for that whole scene.
I feel like if anyone is going to be a growler out of all of them, it's going to be Darius.
It will be Darius.
He's the growler.
I bet he's a really good growler.
Give me your best growl.
I'm not very good at it. That wasn't bad.
It was all right.
That came from like the back of my throat.
Try.
Go on.
Wait.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's weird. Wait. Okay. I couldn't even get it.
That's what it sounded like.
Wait.
You had a Pegasus growl then. Maybe that's our homework. Next week we've got to come back
We
and
need
growl.
to learn to growl.
Yeah.
We're going to try and progress a growl. That's funny.
What was we even talking about?
I don't know. How did we get to
Oh,
that?
the
he's
threesome
growling.
scene.
Yeah.
And his growling. Yeah, I mean, it was great. The whole scene was bloody delightful.
So she's like, Darius has basically got her lifted up and her legs are wrapped around him. And then he's obviously going in. And then Caleb is behind her, but he's not like going in or anything. I was convinced in that moment that we were going to have a double pen situation. I didn't know if it was going to be like double pen, double P in the V, or if it was just going to be double pen. But it wasn't. She just kind of put her hand round and just grabbed him and basically just used her hand. And it was really, really great. So Caleb was quite clever in that, where he like blocked both of their magics so that the stars didn't know that they were together. And because he was also there, he was kind of like, it'll throw them off the scent even if they start to sense something a little bit if he's there. It's quite clever, really. And then I was thinking, why aren't we doing this like every day?
Do you know what else I thought? And I wrote this down. I wrote it down 3 times and in different colours. If you can see all of my colours. Why the fuck didn't they go back to the mortal realm and just start having dates in the mortal realm?
Yeah.
Because then nothing would
point.
happen. They could just go and have a quick shag and then come back.
Yeah.
Go and have a shag, come back. You'd be like, what a treat! What a treat for both of us.
Why didn't they?
Exactly.
Unless the stars know. But then what they can't manipulate the mortal realm, can they?
No, because I'm sure that later on in the book he was saying something like, "Oh, we'd just go and live in the mortal realm," and then Caleb said something like, "No, you can't do that," and he was like, "Oh yeah, maybe I can't do that." So they did actually mention it. Just go for 10 minutes, an hour.
Yeah,
it would have to be an hour.
Yeah, with Darius and his girl.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a lovely little date.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that, but you're absolutely right. That's annoyed me now. I wish you never mentioned it.
I'm out here finding plot holes.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we're here for. To ruin people's day. I fucking love it.
So before we move on, we're kind of just like working our way through characters at the minute, which was unintentional, really. We were intending it to be sort of like main talking points, but I guess they kind of like fit with each other because the talking points all surround different characters or different couples. So before we move on, I just want to say that like Mildred is honestly, the way she is described is positively terrible.
It's
I cannot
really
even... I simply cannot even. So the way that Lance describes her in this, I actually had to note it down because I was laughing so much. In one sentence, they go to like, did they go to some kind of like dance or ball or something like that? When, was it the announcement of the engagement?
It was the announcement of the engagement, yeah.
And so obviously between Mildred and Darius, and Mildred is obviously there, and Lance, this is how Lance describes her. He says... She's got muscular arms, mold-ridden flesh with little hairs on. She's one serious dog of a girl because of all the pharoids that she took. Frizzy brown hair, thick neck, vulgar and arrogant. Her bulky form just an extension of her big head. And he says that all in the same sentence.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's
was a lot of words.
It was. And I was, because he was not holding back in that moment. I was like, fucking hell. He was really... going to town on her. I was laughing, but yeah, she sounds fucking terrible.
She does sound terrible. Like, I don't even know, because obviously she's Darius's cousin as well. So I don't really understand.
Yeah.
I know it's because of the whole dragon situation. Yeah. Like, that's why they've got to come together. But surely, like, come on. Darius is your son. He might end up being a king. Like, he's a very good looking man, and you want him to go out with Mildred.
Just so they have
that
strong dragon
like
babies.
A fucking foot. Like, that's not...
a really, really awful foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that? Trench foot? Is that an actual foot thing?
Trench foot?
Yeah.
I don't know what a trench foot is.
Isn't it when they used to walk through the trenches and they used to get like mould on their feet?
Oh, yeah. Well, she does have mould-ridden skin.
She is little hairs.
Yeah. She's just a giant trench foot.
Let's talk about Gabriel and this whole situation that came out of absolutely fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
So, because I said to you, I had to listen to this twice from the beginning because I was like, I don't even know how we got to this point of finding this out.
It moved so quickly.
It was just
That
weird.
chapter moved really quickly.
It didn't make any sense. So they ended up in the palace and they were like having lunch and stuff. And then Gabriel turned up. Again, that wasn't really explained why Gabriel was then there.
I think it was because he's like a seer, isn't he? I think he was sort of like having this vision and
that
felt
he needed
this
to
pull,
be there. Right.
Yeah, to them and had to take them to a certain place.
So they was in the palace and then they sort of went to this area. They were getting visions of...
They were around this like pond, wasn't it? A pond or a lake or something. And then they looked in this lake and it was them, but different people, but like different, but like older.
Yeah.
Looking back at them and they had like crowns on their head and stuff like that. And they were like, what the hell? Like, and then that's when they realized that actually they look alike. And they were like, oh, that's when I noticed that we do have similarities. We've got a similar nose, similar eyes and stuff like that. And I was like, well, hold on a minute. What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
And then it basically transpires that Gabe is their half-brother on the mum's side.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that this is going to be an actual plot line and there's going to be a reason behind
And this isn't just the end of it.
Yeah.
I feel like this was like a weird little plot line that tied up his missing background from Ruthless Boys.
Yeah.
But tied up way later on in Zodiac Academy.
Which actually, Zodiac was written before Ruthless Boys, wasn't it? I think it was.
Yeah, I mean, I actually don't know.
In which case, I don't know where the fuck was.
Well, they must have had the whole thing plotted out.
Yeah.
Which is insane if they did.
We're going to bring in some random guy in book 4. It turns out he is going to be a new professor. He's going to know Orion, and then he's going to be their half-brother.
And then we'll base an entire prequel series around that information and never share it.
Yeah. Yeah. If you read Ruthless Boys and you don't read Zodiac Academy, you're never going to know this bit of information, ever.
No. Yeah. No, you can't do that. Well, you can. You do whatever you want.
A few people have. They haven't read Zodiac and they've read Ruthless Boys, so they don't know. We're in on it. Like, we're in on a secret.
It was fine. It wasn't sort of like a jaw-dropping moment. It was more like a, really? Kind of moment.
Yeah.
But it was fine. Like, I accept it. It's plot line. But I agree. I hope it kind of goes somewhere rather than it just being like tied up in a bow ending Ruthless Boy / Gabe. Yeah. And then that's it. We just never really speak of it again. I'm hoping the fact that they seen visions in the water of like both of them wearing crowns, that means something. Yeah. For later on. So
Elise was giving birth, and that's why he wasn't there for the ending of this, because he was tied up.
Elise is the FMC from Ruthless Boys.
Yes. So I'm hoping he's genuinely going to be used in the future to help with this now Tory situation, which I think he probably will be. And that's why we are
100%. I reckon he will be. Yeah. I reckon he'll become like a key part.
Next up, let's talk about Lance and this whole sorry situation that we've managed to get ourselves into, because I mean, everyone thought that they would just get away with it and it would all be fucking roses and everyone would be happy. But obviously, that's not what happened.
So I actually read a spoiler ages ago at the beginning of the series by accident that said they get caught on video and he goes to Dartmoor Penitentiary. So I knew this was coming.
Yeah.
At some point. And every book have been like, is this the book? So is this going to be the book?
Yeah.
And I don't know what I expected. But like I knew he was going to go to prison. But I just don't know. I didn't expect it to play out the way it played out.
It did come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It genuinely did come out of nowhere. Like, when this happened.
So who did it?
Kylie. Kylie found her atlas and then...
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, I remember now.
Kylie found her atlas and sent all these messages because she thought that it was Seth.
That's right, yeah.
That Darcy was meant to be meeting. So she'd read all these messages and then was like, oh my God, I know something. And then she went to the FIB, gave them the info, and then, you got arrested.
That's right, yeah, I remember now.
Ends up in Dartmoor.
What a little
Not
bitch.
ideal.
Little bitch.
She was a bitch the whole way through. I fucking hate her.
Yeah, so we ended up with like a whole trial and stuff in this, which was insane. I didn't expect it. Like the whole guilty, not guilty situation.
The Kiplings were involved.
Yeah, the Kiplings were involved. Fucking Kiplings coming out of nowhere with their stupid cake name. Oh, talking of cakes, actually, do you want one?
Oh, go on.
What an appropriate time. I'm really annoyed this isn't a Mr. Kipling. So we've just got a little mini Victoria sponge, guys. We're just having a little cake break, if you don't mind.
What's your favourite cake?
Ooh. chocolate fudge cake.
That's it.
Especially if it's hot chocolate fudge cake.
With ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or custard. Bit of whipped cream on the side.
Yeah, nice.
Oh yeah. That was a nice little Kipling break.
That wasn't
That's what we should call it.
We're gonna have a Kipling
We're gonna have a Kipling break. Going back to Lance after our little Kipling break. He obviously I forgot what we were even talking about now. He obviously does go to prison. And yeah, it's not fun. He kind of like goes to prison and then just decides that he just doesn't want to talk to anyone anymore. Pardon me.
That stays in. That stays in. That has to stay in. The other thing that really irritated me with him doing that was that he'd originally pleaded not guilty. And then just in the middle of the trial, he was like, it was all me. I coerced her.
He changed it,
I used dark magic on her. Rah, rah, rah.
There's got to be a reason for that, though.
Yeah.
I think there's got to be a reason. So something has obviously happened between those moments. Like someone's spoken to him, unless it's dark coercion on him.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know. So something's obviously happened, I think, anyway. Obviously, don't ruin it and tell us. But yeah, it was all just a little bit weird. It was also very frustrating as well. I was sort of a little bit like, well, why can't you just talk to her? Like, I get it. You want her to move on and live her life and blah, blah, blah. But I feel like that's a really selfish way to be.
No, she was in love with him, massively in love.
And she was like there telling him, like begging him basically. And he was basically just like, get out, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, first of all, that's a bit harsh.
Yeah.
Like, you can still be nice about it. He's sort of trying to do the whole pretending like he doesn't care.
Push her away so that she hates him.
So that she moves on.
Because men are fucking stupid.
They are dumb as shit.
They are.
And it doesn't change a lot of the time in the fictional world. Ugh. As much as we love Lance, what are you doing?
Yeah, you knob.
I better come out that something has happened and made him do that, because if he's just done that from his own brain, I'm going to be raging.
Yeah, same.
So, the last thing we want to talk about in this book, which leads us nicely into the end, is obviously Lionel and Clara.
Oh,
Lord have mercy on my soul. Lord have mercy on my Lady Petunia.
Honestly, it was just awful. The whole way through. Just Clara's fucking mental. That's all very weird. That scene when Clara and Lionel were shagging in the other room and Xavier and the mum were just sat there
that was
while
awful.
It was happening, and they just came out and Lionel was kind of all shabby and Clara came out like giving it the big one, and I was like, this
giving
scene,
it all this like
yeah.
You know, when they wipe their lipstick off and
ooh,
she was giving it all
look
that.
what I was doing.
Yeah.
It was fucking awful.
I don't know if she's like, I don't want to say like possessed by something, but in that sort of like realm, there's like a part of me, because there was a couple of times where someone or a couple of people had mentioned about like, is she still in there? And then there was moments where she'd like say something that was reminiscent of the old Clara.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like she's been possessed by something.
Obviously it's the shadows are still within her, so I think she's
just been overtaken by them.
I think she's about 10 different people.
Oh, okay.
Is what I can.
Is what you think?
Is what I can get from, because when obviously at the end when she was fighting pretty much everyone that she could, that it seemed like she was about 3 different people at that point. And then there was one moment where she didn't know whether she was going to do something or not, and then she was just go fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And it was a lot. Let's go into the final scenes, because it was a lot for everyone involved. Okay, so we had Diego goes to see Tory and it's like, there's been a memory that's uploaded into my family's little situation and I think you need to see it. It's Darcy that's being tortured by Lionel. Tory's like, fuck, I need to go and help her. She tries to get hold of Darius. She can't get hold of Darius. She's like, right, let's just go and do something. Her and Diego, they go off and they go and try and sort something out.
Yeah, they go on like a rescue mission.
They're on a rescue mission, just them two, on their own.
Yeah, Diego, of all people, with his little hat.
Not ideal. And then it turns out that Darcy was actually captured by the lads because they wanted to make her feel better. So they was like going to have like some drinks and just have a lads' night out with Darcy.
Yeah, so she sort of was kidnapped, just not in the way that was presented to them in this memory, which obviously turned out to not be accurate.
Yeah.
And it was put there intentionally to lure Tory to Lionel and Clara. And then obviously she got there, and then she ended up being the one that was kidnapped, and then everybody else had to go on a rescue mission for her. And that didn't go well.
It was really bad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They all go on this rescue mission. Darius is like, I'm going in. I'm going straight in. I'm going to go and get my girl. Darius goes in. Lionel's already tortured the shit out of Tory as it is. Luckily, Tory did give Darius a bit of her fire from her phoenix, which meant that he couldn't be dark coerced by his father anymore. He could just be normal anytime that Lionel would try and stop him from doing anything, which was grand. I mean, it worked a little bit.
Those scenes of when she gives Darius that gift were so sweet. She basically gives him this like bracelet. I think it's got like wings or something on it, and then it burns her fire into his skin. So she gave him a part of her fire magic. And those scenes were so sweet.
Honestly.
Because he obviously gave her a bike, and she's not really done anything with it. And then she gave him this little gift, and it was just, it was so sweet.
I physically can't with these two. Fucking idiots. So Darius is there, he's trying to fight for his girl. And then outside, we've got Darcy, Seth, Max, Caleb, and Clara, and the nymphs.
Oh, yeah.
All going at each other. And Clara is then sort of taken over Darcy and is trying to get Darcy to kill everyone else as well. And it was just fucking carnage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm pretty sure at one point, did a nymph look like it wasn't going to go against everyone? Like,
I don't remember.
I'm sure there's this moment where Darcy had said something like, I don't think the nymph wanted to do, or there was something like that. And then I was kind of like, wait, so are the nymphs going to go against Lionel and Clara later on?
Are they being coerced into doing something that they've not actually been wanting to do all this time because of Lionel?
That's what it felt like.
Because he's had control over them since the Vega's parents' death.
Yeah.
Because he coerced the nymphs into... Yeah, I wonder then if that's what's going to come out later on.
And then, it was just utter fucking carnage, to be honest. And then at the end, well, they all came together.
Lionel enforced this bond.
The Guardian bond onto Tory. And Tory kept saying, she was like, no, I'm telling you, like, I'm totally fine. Like, it's not gonna work. It's all fine. And then I think Darius or someone went for Lionel and she just stopped them from doing it. It was like, oh my fucking God, like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
They just sort of were like, look, we'll just leave and then we've got to figure a way of getting her back. And by the time they left, Lionel took Tory and Clara down into his little weird basement area. Into his lair. And Tory just let the shadows take over her.
They were like walking down the tunnel and Clara and Lionel were like hand in hand. And Tory was like growling and getting jealous. And Clara turned around and Tory said something like, why you? And Clara giggled and said something like, because I'm the favourite, silly. Something like that. And I thought, oh no.
As soon as they went down in that basement.
And then she said that she loved him.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as they went down in that basement, I was like, oh, they're going to end up sleeping with each other. I feel like it's gonna happen.
Oh, I hope not.
I know.
That would be the worst thing to happen ever in the history of things ever happening.
I know.
Oh God. Oh Lord, have mercy on my lady Petunia. I hope that doesn't happen.
The thing is that Lionel would 100% do it to get back at Darius.
Oh yeah.
Like, for sure, 100%. And if Tory's under this little spell, she'll do it. Like, she will do it.
So she's like fully in now. We basically ended the book with her fully into this guardian bond, and Lionel says to her, who do you love? She says something like someone with dark hair, but she's talking about her sister at first, and then she says somebody else who she was meaning Darius, but she couldn't quite get their names, as if it was like slipping away from her. And then he's like, no, that's wrong. Does he hit her or punch her or something?
There's like an electric thing that he uses on her. Yeah,
so he does something to her like that, and then he asks her again, who do you love? And she says, you. And then that was basically it, really. And I was just like, jaw on the floor. It's like, fucking hell, this is a lot, innit? That was a lot. So my overall thoughts of this book, actually, that leads us nicely into this is the most engaged I've been in these books, Zodiac Academy specifically. It's the most engaged I've been for the longest period of time. So usually in the middle of these books, I go through quite a bit of a lull where I'm like, literally nothing is happening. And although those parts are important for the character development, I find them a little bit frustrating sometimes. This one, so my lull period in this was between chapters 16 and 21. So I completely blanked out during these. I told you that at the time.
Yeah.
Completely blanked out. And honestly, I had no desire to rewind it and go back to them and re-listen. And actually, I didn't really miss anything that was significant, in my opinion. I think you said Dante turned up at one point, and you're like, "Do you remember?" And I was like, "No, don't remember." And I'm not rewinding it. I'm not rewinding it. But after that, it was literally like chapter 21 all the way onwards, and especially after halfway, that I was locked in. This is the most engaged I've been. So, do you have any final thoughts before we go into ratings?
No, I think we've said everything. I'm just really pissed off, to be honest.
Oh.
I'm obviously going to carry on reading it. Like, you know.
I guess we're supposed to be. Like, you're supposed to have all these kind of feelings kind of stirred up,
I just didn't think this was going to happen, and I don't really like where this is going to go.
Yeah.
At all. And it wasn't even like I was, expecting it to be all flowers and roses and everyone was going to be happy doing circles or whatever, but I don't like the Tory and Lionel thing.
Yeah.
If they sleep together, I'm going to be fucking fuming.
Yeah, no, you will be, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well. I don't think they will. I genuinely don't think they will.
Don't tell us.
No. So, should we do ratings for this book?
Yes.
What did you give it? Stars?
I gave it a 4 for stars.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I think I was just really angry at the end.
So you deducted a whole star off because you were so annoyed about it. So I actually gave this 5 stars.
Did you?
I think this is the first ZA book I've given 5 stars to, I think.
Yeah, I don't think I've done a 5 star.
I think the highest I've given is 4.5. So I would say it's like a low 5 for me, not a full 5. But I don't know if it's 5 because it's just in comparison to the others it's the most engaged I've been, or was it actually a really amazing book? I don't know. But I was locked in and I did have a really fucking good time.
Do you know what? So much happened in this. So much happened in this.
It was constant.
I didn't really enjoy where it went, and I can't give something 5 stars.
No, that's fine.
I'm not happy about it.
That's all right. So chili peppers.
The chili
peppers. So I actually didn't write down what I gave this chili peppers. I know I was going to give it like 2 to 2.5, but we were just talking then off camera about all of the scenes because we were a little bit undecided, and I think actually it's probably more like a 3.
I think it's because there's some scenes that you genuinely forget about.
Yeah.
That
especially at the start in the first half of the book, like before Lance goes to prison and before it all kicks off, there is quite a lot. And then obviously we have the threesome scene as well, which actually went on for quite a while.
It really did.
Okay, so that is book 5 complete. We'll try and keep this short and concise. So let's go over Big Ass Party.
Big Ass Party.
Okay, so this one is basically, it's the twins' birthday and Geraldine is throwing them a party and she is absolutely fucking obsessed with making this party perfect. I mean, she's obsessed with the twins as it is, obviously, but she's obsessed with making this party like absolutely
the best.
Perfect.
Oh, bless her though.
So she's just like going off on one.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things in this, and the funniest moment in this for me, is the whole Mildred situation. So Mildred, they get wind that Mildred is going to like gate crash this party. So she basically says to Max the boy, that if he doesn't stop Mildred from turning up at this party, then he doesn't get any Lady Petunia. And obviously Max, being the weirdly obsessed seahorse that he is, was like, well, I can't be having that. Like, I need access to Lady Petunia. Yeah, I don't want blue balls. He's like, okay, I'll do it. They all hatch this plan, like Max and Darius and that. They all hatch this plan where they oil Darius up. He goes topless and they basically oil him up. He's all like all sexy and stuff like that. And then they plant him on this like rock. He's all like, you know, you can't, if you're listening, not watching on video, you can't see, but he's like basically like leaning back. You know, like a merman on like a rock, all oiled up, all sexy. Yeah. So they like lure her out and then she sees him like all oiled up. And then they have like a conversation. And honestly, the conversation between Mildred and Darius, that this is the most awkward and kind of like normal I've ever
weird.
heard Darius be. And it
Yeah.
was so good to hear Darius like just being kind of like a bit awkward and a
Yeah.
bit normal. Because he was like, she was all saying all these like spicy things to him, and he was like, oh yeah, I want that, yeah, oh, like trying to lure her in, because basically what they were going to do was then trap her in this like, was like a cage of ice,
Yeah.
so that she couldn't gate crash the party. And it works, they do it. But that whole section of scenes was so funny. I actually really enjoyed this bit. So Geraldine's voice in this, which obviously we spoke about earlier on,
sassy.
my note
Sassy as
is
hell.
Geraldine's voice is the single most annoying thing on earth. However, she is very funny, and I love that she is so over the top. The high pitch is grating as fuck, though.
It's really bad. Do you know what? When I first listened to this, so I think this is genuinely why I rated it a little lower than maybe some people had, is because of her voice.
Yes, I agree.
And
I nearly didn't finish it because of the voice.
she spoke a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
I'm glad there was max chapters, because if it was just all her, I would not have been able to get through that.
It was like the first couple of chapters
Yes.
as well. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I
This
don't know
is
if
a
I
lot.
can get used to this.
The high pitch was so intense.
Yeah.
It really was a lot. But then you kind of get used to it, and the max chapters kind of like break it up, and they weren't like that short either, so it wasn't like you were quickly back with her. So it did break it up a little bit, and then it became kind of like funny with all the stuff that she was saying. It really was just, she's like Texan.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is she from Texas? Why is she the only person from Texas in Solaria?
Yeah.
But sure.
Why not?
Okay. Fine.
So there was a really funny bit in this, which was so good. No, actually, there was a couple of funny bits that were in this, but one of my favourite bits was when Geraldine was going to get a tattoo of each of the girls on her tits. She was going to get one head on each tit, and Max was like, "Well, you're not fucking doing that. Like, that's absolutely not happening."
He's like, "I don't want to stare at the twins." Yeah.
It's like, this is just perfection.
Yeah.
That was one of my favourite moments.
So the birthday party happens, and everybody's there. I think they say something like there's hundreds of people there.
Yeah.
And everyone's hiding. Like there's like an illusion spell so that everybody's hidden, including all the boys. So the twins turn up, and it's basically just like Geraldine and the twins. And then the twins start saying stuff like, "Oh, I'm so glad you didn't throw us a really big birthday party, because I just couldn't, basically, I couldn't be fucked with that. Like, this is just so much nicer."
Imagine if the heirs were here, it would be
there,
awful.
Like, Geraldine's like wringing her hands out, like, "Oh, yeah, that would be so terrible. If I had hundreds of people here, that would be really bad." And it was just, honestly, it was so fucking funny.
And then the heirs ended up covering for them, because there was something like, "Oh God, imagine spending your birthday with the heirs. Oh, it would be awful." And then I think Darius came out, and he was like, "Ah, you jokers. Oh, you're so funny," because they knew all along. They did know.
Yeah.
And then Geraldine was like, "Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Oh, thank the stars." So yeah, it was just really funny.
Yeah, it was a really good book. So the ending of this book, sort of towards the end, we did get a little bit of progression with Max and Geraldine's relationship, where we realize why Geraldine is like so standoffish with him. And it's basically because, and obviously it is obvious, this one reason, that she supports the twins and their bid for the throne. Max obviously is an heir and is trying to get them off the throne. So they're always going to be competing. And Max basically asks her at the end to be his, and she's like, Maxie boy, we can't do that.
No.
I support the twins. I'm always going to support the twins, and you're always going to be trying to kick them off the throne. And that's never going to work. And then she said, basically, also, I'm marrying Justin.
Yeah.
After graduation. And he's absolutely devastated. He is devastated. And this is the first time I felt like actually really sorry for him.
Yeah, me too.
And I was like, oh, bless him.
Especially because he's putting all of his eggs in her basket. Yeah. And like, she's not his cup of tea basket. No. Like, that's just insane anyway. And it was like, oh.
I felt really bad for him. And he basically says, well, what about until graduation? And she's like, yeah, okay. So they basically agree to kind of like be together until graduation. but he's just so heartbroken about it. It's just so sad because she's like, oh, Justin's going to make a good husband. He'll make a fine husband. He'll support me. He'll support the twins. You know, we'll always be on the same page, blah, blah, blah. And it was just kind of like her frankness about it all that just made it like...
she's very out there, isn't she, with everything to do with him. And he is obviously very emotional because he's a siren. So it's not... I don't know. It's just very odd. It's just all very odd. And I
feel for him.
I did feel for him.
That's everything I've kind of got to say on this one, really. It was basically the whole book just revolves around that party. I think it was only about 90-something pages, I think you said.
98 pages.
So on double speed on audio, it was 1.5 hours. We probably didn't need to audiobook it, but I think starters you mean to go on. I just audiobooked it anyway. And it was all right. It was a good little listen, to be fair. And it was funny. Once you get past the sort of like gratiness and high pitch of her voice, it is actually really funny. I'd say when I did look at the ratings for this one in Goodreads, it didn't have that good of ratings. And I genuinely think it's because of her voice.
I think it would be, yeah.
Because that was a lot. That was a lot to listen to.
People did say, when I was looking through some of the comments, people did say, like, this is funny. It is a really good time. But they were still giving it like 2s and 3s, and I can only think that it's because
of her voice. Stars wise and chili peppers,
I gave it 3.5, and I don't even think I rated it for chilies. But
I don't think I rated it for chilies.
2. I think they only done it twice.
It's a short book, obviously. I don't really think it matters too much, but I think I gave it 3.5 as well.
Yeah,
it didn't really warrant more than that. It was sort of like middle of the range. It was a good time. It was funny. It was fine, but obviously it did have its kind of negatives, and her voice being the big one.
I just put that this is funny-ish and it's pointless. Yeah. That's how I felt about the whole thing.
Yeah. I did like that we got a little bit more of Max and Geraldine's relationship in it, but that definitely could have just been woven into either the book 5 or book 6. Yeah. It wasn't necessary.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
So the next book is book 6, which is called Fated Throne.
And this one is bigger.
Yeah.
Because obviously we're getting larger as we go along.
Which is just great.
Grand. I mean, the days are building for how many days you need to listen to this bad boy.
So, talking about this, we've only got... So, I leave in 6 weeks for my sabbatical. I go on sabbatical in 6 weeks, and I'm going out of the country. So, me and Tia won't be together for sort of about 7-8 weeks, something like that. We're only going to be filming Zodiac Academy up to the point where I leave. We did say at the start that we weren't going to tandem read, but we've just quickly tried to figure out dates and stuff for when I'm away and how many books we can read before, and then where we'll kind of pick up when I get back. And I think we might leave 8 and 8.5 so that we can tandem read it whilst I'm away.
Yeah. Just
to give us a little bit more time, because obviously if we're audio booking, if we're going to tandem read, we need to eyeball at the same time, like I said earlier.
Guts to eyeball.
You'll probably get book 6 out of us and book 7 out of us before I go on my sabbatical. Yeah. And then we will be picking Zodiac Academy back up in January, at the beginning of January.
We will, however, still be doing the weekly wrap-up in between that. And we are going to do a few bonus episodes to go through some of the books that we've gone through this year. So we are going to have like just a couple of little poddies that will go up in between.
At the end of December, for end of year, there will be like our favourite reads from the year, like all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure if anyone that's even listening to this Zodiac Academy podcast is even interested in our other stuff. I have no idea. So if that doesn't interest you, my apologies.
I hope you are though.
But we'll pick Zodiac Academy back up in the January after we get to the end of book 7, I think is our plan.
Yeah.
And that is mainly so we can tandem read 8 and 8.5. So I think that's it. We'll see you for book 6, which, what do we say it's called? Fated Throne.
Indeed.
2 weeks. Both of our drinks are empty now.
It's been a big episode.
It has been a big episode.
Isn't it?
All right. Well, we'll see you in a week's time for the wrap up, and then we'll see you in another week's time after that for the next day.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.